With Arik,
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered, yeah. And Arik, tell us a little bit about your concept.
Okay, so what I do is I teach men dating advice and success with women.
Okay.
Basically, I've been doing this for about 8 years, and then 2 years ago I decided to do it my primary business. And what I'm trying to accomplish is actually allow men to express themselves more comfortably around women, and especially around the type of women they want. Due to social conditioning today, excessive use of smartphones, we're becoming less and less communicative, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
define communicative.
it means that we are becoming less comfortable with talking to strangers, or
Okay.
we're becoming less comfortable with expressing our feelings, right? Today, our most common way to express our feelings is with social media. It's hitting a like button or subscribe button, right? This is how we express feeling, or emojis.
Yes, yes.
So we use less real feelings. So what I try to do is I try to help men get in touch with not just their feelings, but also their masculinity, so that they will be able to express it in the right way. And by that, like I said, achieve the goals they want in life in terms of their relationships, type of women they hang out with, and so on and so forth.
How do you do this?
Few ways. First, I dive into the most basic fears. We all have fears. We all carry fears and traumas from the past, and we try to dive in first to the deepest fears that you have, and then we try to kind of
Like their mother?
Sorry?
Their mother?
Perhaps, maybe. Also, it could be. And then we try to start like crumbling the fears slowly, but also we make sure to take field action.
Okay.
It means that we start to actually look into where are the type of women you want to meet, and how you can approach them, and what technically, and practically you can do to start draw them into your life, become a more attractive man.
How can you become a more attractive man? What would you say?
One is definitely create a purpose in life, have some goal, something that you strive for that is not just women, something that is, you have this big vision about who you want to become and where your life is going. You become more communicative, more social, less filtered. You start filtering less what's going on through your head. Today, the thing is that we have such a crazy mechanism of filtering out everything we have in our mind, and one of the ways to become more attractive today is actually by being less filtered. Be that person who says that funny thing, be that person who filters
be
out
more
less.
how do you call it? Spontaneous.
More spontaneous and more expressive.
But does that always work, being more spontaneous?
No, not at all. What would happen is that it's not always going to work, but what's going to happen is if you're going to put yourself in enough opportunities and enough spots with different women, what will happen in the long term is some would not like it, but some would love it.
But what if you're not a spontaneous guy? What if you are not that type?
So you need to relate to the type of person you are, but you need to understand if you're not that guy because you're naturally, genuinely not that person, or it comes because of some sort of fear. Right?
So you're teaching men to overcome their fear, in other words.
Yes.
Very interesting. And you do this in a specific culture or different cultures?
I work mostly with US, Europe, Australia, UK, and so on. So Western culture.
And do you see a difference between Israeli men and
Definitely.
Anglo-Saxon men?
Israeli men are among the most assertive men in the planet. Probably the most assertive men in the planet.
Define assertive.
Assertive is they go after what they want. They're less apologetic. They go more after what they want. It's
But do they know what they want?
Not necessarily, but when they think they know what they want, they go for it more than their equivalent men in Sweden or in US. Okay, statistically, if you see, Israelis are the most go-getters even in terms of women, business, success, entrepreneurship, and so on and so forth.
And would you say, in terms of relationships with women, would you say that Israeli men are more successful in achieving their goal and finding the woman they want?
Not necessarily, but I will say that they're more go-getters. I will say that for a woman, okay, here's my opinion. If you're a woman, and if you are an attractive woman, and you want to at least get a boost to your confidence, there's not a single place in the planet, which will give you better validation than this country, than Israel.
But is it because, are you talking about physically attractive women?
Yes.
But if you're not a physically attractive woman, then do you get the opposite effect?
No. No, because
let's say you're an ugly.
Even women who are average looking and above get a lot of attention from men, because this place is like a Shark Tank. This country, due to the way we're built, due to the culture, due to the way the fact that we are all coming from survival mechanism, survival culture. That's who we are. Due to that, this is like a Shark Tank. So even a woman or a girl who is average looking and above, she's gonna get a lot of attention. Now, if a girl is not good looking, at first I would recommend her try to do whatever you can to be as good looking as you can. Hit the gym, work out, read a book, do whatever you can to be.
What about inner beauty? Do you think the men here appreciate inner beauty?
I think men everywhere appreciate inner beauty. However, I think that for men, primary thing they look at, and it's gonna stay like that, and there's no reason to, like, it is what it is outer beauty. Because we're genetically programmed to look at it. Because as men, we're looking for replication on our partner. We're looking for replication abilities. Beauty, right? Outer beauty represents replication abilities.
What is replication? I understand. Evolutionary.
Yeah.
So it's actually
evolutionary standpoint.
You want good-looking kids because then they're healthier.
Exactly right.
Because good looks means healthier.
For example, women, they're more into less into that replication ability because they bring it. They're more into the survival skills. That's why a man who has good confidence, charisma, a good lifestyle, high social status, they seem more attractive because they represent very, very good survival skills.
I see.
So then it kind of balances each other and it completes to one thing.
But what if you're not an alpha male? What if you're not like a go-getter?
Do what you can to become an alpha male.
But do you believe every male can become an alpha male?
If he wants to enough, if he's gonna work hard enough on himself, yes, everyone can. The question, if he wants it enough. If he doesn't want it enough, he's not gonna work hard enough for it, then he is not an alpha male. So he doesn't deserve to get the benefits of an alpha male. It's a fair game.
And one last question. What do you say about the Me Too movement? What do you find that Israeli men or men that are go-getters have a problem with borderlines? They sometimes are a little bit too enthusiastic and may not know limits, as well as Anglo-Saxon men?
Could be. It varies between one man to another.
Because we know, like in the media, you hear about Harvey, what's his name, the guy from Hollywood?
Harvey
Weinstein, and somehow Jewish names tend to come up. Like Louis C.K. What's his name? The guy with the comedy? Yeah, a lot of Jews come up. Do you think it's a coincidence? It has to do with Hollywood, or is it because the Jews are a little bit too much over the top?
No, probably it has nothing to do with Jews. I don't know. Maybe it's just a coincidence. But I would say that it really depends on where that person really comes from. I think that a guy who is a real, successful alpha male, who has that true abundance of women in his life and it comes from an abundant place, he's going to be the one less likely to cross borders with women because he has so many options. So if a girl says no, he's like, okay, fine, I have so many other options, it's all good.
Interesting. So you think this lack of inhibition with certain men has to do with the lack of confidence?
Yeah.
So a confident male will not be crossing the border?
Well, to be it depends. Like, a confident man could at some point cross the border. The question is, once, the other side will tell him you cross the line, how would he respond? Would he say, okay, I understand, and take a step back? Or he will be completely oblivion and just keep on doing whatever he wants to without paying any attention to what's happening around him? You understand? It could happen to anybody, but it depends how. There's a difference between, approaching a girl, she says no, and you stay there for a little bit more than you should. There's a difference between that. That's crossing the border between rape.
Yes.
Right? There's a big difference between the two.
But now women are complaining about sexual harassment. Like, there was this parliament member and another parliament member touched her backside. Like, he was just tapping her backside and she's already going to court for it. I mean,
it's bad.
Do you think different cultures have also different
Yes. different
permission.
cultures have different standards for what is sexual harassment. For example, in Romania, I don't know if it's still there, but up until a few years ago, there was no such thing as rape.
Wow.
Like, legally, there was no term called rape.
Wow, I
There was
didn't know
no
that.
such
Why is that?
felony.
Why is
I
that?
don't know. I didn't write the laws there, but
Wow.
so in different cultures, the standard of what is sexual harassment is very different. In Eastern Europe, it's different than in US or UK.
Would you say, like, I hear from quite a few women that there's a lot of sexual harassment in Israel, like men say things that are inappropriate.
Could be.
So where do you think? So you think that comes from lack of confidence?
I think yes. I think that what I told you before about the fact that men here tend to be very assertive, they also tend to be very aggressive. So the line is very thin between assertive, which is a really good thing, and aggressive, which is a really bad thing, right? It looks similar,
Yeah.
but it's just coming from a different place. So yeah, if somebody is aggressive, then he needs to be put in his place.
Do you have a role model, like either Israeli or another culture, that you see it as like someone to look up to, like a male that is an example, like
I have a few role models.
like Caitlyn Jenner? I'm joking. I had to put that one
I
in.
have a few, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
No, I just heard an interview with him, and what do you think of Caitlyn Jenner? Are you familiar with his transition?
No.
He was a very alpha male. He had like 3 wives. I just saw the interview, and he has like 10 children from 3 wives, and then he realized he was actually always wanted to be female. What do you think about these males that all of a sudden, like later in life, they discover they actually don't want to be a male, not even an alpha male, they want to be a woman?
I don't know. Like, I have
Do you think
no
it's a
thought.
trend, or?
No, I don't think anybody does it for the trend. It's not that common for it to be called a trend.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess.
So who's your ideal male, would you say?
I don't think it's like an ideal male.
Besides this great guy behind the counter. He's the ideal man.
Role model for sure would be Gary Vaynerchuk.
Who?
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Who's he?
He's a crazy, like, amazing entrepreneur who built a huge wine business for his family, and now he's a social media guru. Great guy. And Owen Cook, who's also a very famous dating coach, one of the top dating coaches in the world, Owen Cook, and a few more. But yeah, I have a few people who I follow them, who I really look up to their content. But I know that nobody's like this ideal version. There's no such thing as an ideal person.
But what are the qualities you look for in a coach, such as
I think it would be like honesty. He needs to be very real. Like, he needs to be very real. He needs to be someone who's not trying to represent an image. He's not trying to stand up for his image. He's actually super real and authentic in what he says. That he hasn't, like, he can comfortably speak his opinion, and it's very clear. It's clear and cut. It's not like this vague information that you cannot really do anything with it. It has to be very clear, very obvious, and besides that, he has to come from the heart.
And I've noticed that quite a few dating coaches choose to be single. Why do you think it's important for a dating coach to actually be in a relationship or not? And if so, not. Why not?
No, because it's all a matter of what do you choose to do. What do you choose? Like, if you teach success with women, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're looking for a relationship with a woman. It could mean that you also want multiple relationship at that point of your life.
Interesting.
It could mean that you also don't want a relationship. For example, for me right now, having a relationship is nearly impossible. I'm investing all my time, effort, and energy into a business. I don't want to have a relationship right now. So
what do you think about the polyamorous? What is it called? Polyamorous? The people that believe in multiple relationships. What is your opinion on those?
I think if it works for them, then good, they should do it.
You think it is possible to have, because as we know, for some people having one relationship is already too much. And do you think it is possible to actually have genuine relationships at the same time with several people?
It's going to be a different type of relationship than what we in mainstream call a relationship.
It's a different definition.
Yes, it won't be the classical falling in love in 5 partners. It won't be that. It will be maybe a different story. I know for me, when I've had periods when I was in multiple relationships, it was like I had some sort of an emotional exchange with each one of my partners, but it wasn't like falling in love. It was like really high appreciation, maybe a lot of attraction, maybe a lot of good emotional exchange, but not necessarily the mainstream Hollywood story,
romantic.
We fell in love. I fell in love with 6 women. Not that.
Would you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself a romantic guy?
Yes.
What does that mean to be a romantic guy?
It's, I think it's the fact that you like intimacy with whoever you're attracted to and you want to spend time with. You appreciate intimacy.
And how do you define intimacy?
Intimacy is like you strive to have you strive to create some sort of a bubble with that person you're with. Right, some sort of a bubble where it's just the 2 of you. Even if there's like so many people around you, you can easily create that bubble, that one-on-one, that feeling that it's just you and her or you and him or whatever it is, and easy to share personal things, life stories. You invest something into making the other person feel good because you appreciate the fact that he's in your life, whether it's for an hour or for a month or for 5 years. You just appreciate the fact that that person right now is in your life, so you're putting the best version of yourself for that person.
But would you say that it's like now you said you don't have time, so do you think having that sort of relationship is a matter of time, or is it a matter of the person? Would you say that a relationship, it's a combination of timing and the person that is the right person for you?
Every time I had a monogamous relationship, I had a girlfriend. I never planned to have a girlfriend. It wasn't a plan. It just the right girl came, the right woman came.
And then you accommodated it.
And I said, you know what, okay, I'll do it.
Okay, thanks. Final word. So you can be reached on YouTube,
Instagram. Arik unfiltered.
Arik unfiltered.
Arik unfiltered.
And how did you get such a great English? I mean, what's the secret?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You're just really good in languages, or what?
I guess so.
Wow.
I wish I would know more languages, but no, I don't know.
But you're actually a native Hebrew speaker.
Native.
And you sound a native English speaker.
Thank you.
So you must be good at what you're doing anyway.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.